The South African National Parks online booking system is heaving. It seems since the President last night announced the relaxation of inter-provincial travel, South Africans have wasted no time in trying to book a much-needed exhale in the wild. Just this weekend, SanParks started the process of reopening some of its accommodation for most of its parks across the country. However, strict protocols will remain in place. We're joined now via Skype by SanParks spokesperson Ike, who of course is no stranger to viewers and radio listeners across the country as well. Ike, thank you so much for joining us this morning. The SanParks Twitter page and the Kruger Park National Park Twitter page just a few minutes ago tweeted for patience as the SanParks online booking system experienced challenges as they try and deal with an upsurge, a massive spike in people trying to make bookings once the President announced that we can now travel across provincial borders. And of course, people thought the first thing they need to do is get into a wide open space and take in South Africa's fabulous parks. How is your team dealing with that spike right now?
Thank you very much, Marcella, and good morning to you and to the viewers. Well, we have technicians who are working on the system. Unfortunately, everybody, as you said, wants to be out in the open skies. We received our first guests this Friday, and some of the pictures on our Twitter, on our social media pages can bear attest to the fact that people are really enjoying and they have missed the park. So we ask for them to be very patient to allow for the technicians to be able to bring it up. It is understandable that everybody wants to get out. We've been indoors for the past 5 months. We have had a long lockdown, but we still have to observe those lockdown protocols.
And it hasn't been an easy process to get to this point of opening up the accommodation. A lot of your staff who'd have moved out of the parks during lockdown. There's been a process of bringing them back in, ensuring their health and safety is taken care of. Then they've needed to be trained up with the new protocols that now have to be in place to ensure that accommodation is safe for you to receive visitors as well. Tell us a little bit about that process and what new protocols will be in place.
Well, the picture, as you say, is going to change as inter-provincial travel restrictions are lifted. We are phasing in the opening because we are in a different world, as you just mentioned. We still have to observe those health protocols. We have to test the systems that we've put in place. And the other thing that people should remember is that the Kruger National Park is a wild area. And if there haven't been people for quite some time, then the animals take over the place. So there are some units that needs to be refurbished, and our training has gone great thus far. Our OHS management team, as well as our compliance officers, have been doing excellent work in the past 5 weeks to ensure that when we open, at least we have a little bit of comfort. Although I must stress that it is everybody's responsibility when it comes to COVID-19. We have to take personal responsibility and assist those who are helping us when it comes to adhering to those protocols. Those regulations that have been stipulated also in level 2 are going to be enforced at all the gates when people come in. So we ask people to please go through the regulations, make sure that they abide by those regulations, and we will be able to assist them in that regard.
We've heard repeatedly from tourism authorities that when we eventually get to the point that we get the tourism wheels turning again, there will be a big need to get domestic travel going and to get South Africans really traveling locally to help keep the industry going. This is a great opportunity for South Africans who perhaps didn't grow up with the privilege of visiting our parks to be able to finally do so.
It definitely is, Marcel. We have seen an uptake from people who have never been to the Kruger National Park, although about 70% of our regular visitors are people from here at home. It's people that traditionally over the years have made it a point that at one stage they will go in there. Of course, we have the majority who have never experienced the Kruger National Park. That is the market that we are looking for. We have some new products in the Kruger National Park. The Skukuza Safari Lodge is one such, where we know that people want 24-hour service, they want a reception, they want something which is much more modern. And we have gone through that. We actually are offering a 25% discount for accommodation at the Skukuza Safari Lodge for our local travelers. With international travel still banned, we hope that our people will take advantage of all those offers that we have. Although we still are going to phase in as we are in a different world, we are currently opening up 50% to also test our systems and to ensure that we've got our systems right. And then we will gradually increase the accommodation that is available.
Okay, we can only wish you and your team at SanParks everything of the best. That is SanParks spokesperson Ike Patla joining us live there. And he reminded us before we went to air that he's still very much in radio, so don't forget that. Tony